Hi, it's Fifi here. So I've got a spare 15 minutes until my other half gets home, and I thought I'd just stick the camera on and have a catch up. Just wanted to go through a couple of projects I've done. Well, no, one project I've done and a few bits and pieces, and what's on my desk, and an upcoming project that I'm proposing to do. So I've recently been trying to sort out my papers, and I've sorted them into, I used to have them all in one single container, and I had all my painty and scrap bits of pattern paper and whatnot in one of these, actually, a big old one of these. In fact, the actual one is this, and I had it sorted by colours, if you can see, sorted by colours. And I also had pattern papers and magazine pages and some finished pieces that I used to work with, and it just got too big for this. This is just kind of A4 sized, and it expanded and it expanded and it expanded until there was no more room on my shelf for it. So I thought I need to plan something else. So I put everything together, I bundled everything up, and I decided I'd put them into 3 categories. So I've got now 3 categories. I've got painty papers. Over here on a shelf in the corner I have pattern papers, and then up behind me on my desk I've got a different category, which is kind of all the stuff that I like to put into junk journals. So I've got some coffee dyed paper, some doilies, dyed envelopes, book pages, etc. So now, instead of having one of these with all my paper in, I now have 3 big piles. So if anyone's got any ideas about how I manage that, please let me know. I'm thinking I'm just going to get 3 big sort of A3 or bigger sized sort of plastic envelopes and just stick them in and just dip into them as and when I need to, because it really is getting out of hand. It's ridiculous. This is a little project. This, I am intending to make a belly band for a junk journal, one of my junk journals. This started off as the cover for a pack of stacking taco shells, and I just thought I liked the shape of it, and so I just covered it in Frankenstein paper, or some people call it serendipity paper. I know some of the American crafters call it serendipity paper. I just put lots of different kinds of paper on it, stuck down with matte medium, and then I did a trick that I learned from Barbara from 49 Dragonflies, and used the distress stain to make some messy splatters. And the intention is for that is to take a junk journal, I'm just using this as an example, and use that as a belly band. So yeah, I thought that was quite fun. This is another failed journal cover project. This is Craftex, and I've cut the I've got one of these little journal Big's dies, and I had this one spare just kicking about, and I tried making a journal cover out of it with these elastic bands, and it's just it's not stiff enough, and I put them too tight and it started curling. So I've put that aside for now, and I'm going to think again on that. This is a recent charity shop purchase. This is one of these folio edition books, and I can't remember how much I got this for. Can't have been any more than £1 or so, because that's generally all I pay for. Yeah, this Folio Society. So these are lovely hardback books that come in a gorgeous little slipcase, and I just loved the colour of the slipcase. I loved the cover of the book, and I just thought the title was hilarious. It's called The Diary of a Nobody. It's a 1969 book by George and Whedon Grossmith. I have no idea what the book's about. I haven't read it. I'll probably flip through. I think what I'm going to do is one of these altered book journals, and where you save a page, take a couple of pages out, glue the first to the last, save a page, take a couple of pages out, so that you're effectively gluing 2 pages together with a gap of a couple of pages in the middle. So you end up with, usually of a book about this size, you end up with about 20 or 25 pages of quite sturdy glued together pages, and that gives you the room to put in extra bits and pieces into your journal. I love that book. I love the colours. I love the cover and the paintings on the cover. The other thing I just wanted to show you was, this is a bit of an experiment. Does anyone remember fax machines? Well, my work, we're throwing out a load of stuff. We're having a bit of a clear out in the office. I am actually back at work, but only a very small number of people are actually working from the office. And so I was having a clear out. I found a box of 6 of these fax machine rolls. I thought, I wonder what I can do with those. They were going to get thrown out, so I took them home, and I thought, well, they're quite sort of shiny. They're quite thin paper, and they're a little bit shiny. But I remember that they are heat reactive. So I just had a go at putting a stencil over the top of it and using the heat gun. Actually, I didn't use a heat gun. I only used my hairdryer, because I don't know where my heat gun is. Oh, I think it's there in a pile of rubbish. And it did actually start transferring a bit of a pattern. This was an alphabet stencil, and it did actually start transferring a bit of a pattern, so I've got to have a bit of a play around with that. I know it's really just grey and white. I thought if you could get a bit of a background, it might be quite interesting to work with. And it also is really, really long. It's a really long roll. I can't remember how many's in the roll. It says... oh, it doesn't say. But there's... my goodness, it was expensive. I don't know, but there's yards and yards and yards of paper there, so I think that'd be quite good for just messing about. And that's that. I brought this. This is a desktop light box that I've had at work. I got it in a charity shop years ago, but it doesn't have enough letters, so I brought it home. It sits on my desk at work. I brought it home, and I'm going to try and find some of this acetate, and I'm going to make some, cut it to the same size, and I'm going to make some more letters so that I can spell out cheeky phrases and have it on my desk at work to annoy the bosses. I think that'll be quite amusing. Last of all is this other charity shop's buy that I got. Now, I'm never going to get this all in the camera, but this is a canvas. It's actually a nice solid frame, and it's got a hardboard base. The canvas, it's not a canvas, it's hardboard, and then the whole thing is wrapped in a kind of a knobby linen fabric and then painted on. Now, actually I think that's quite nice as it is, but I wanted to do something with it. A few months ago I made this. This is a giant tag, and I just made it from, again, Frankenstein paper, and I did some stamping and embossing and a bit of painting. I stuck on the letters, and then I made some paper roses and put some golden just highlights on the paper roses, and then I put a bow on, and that hangs on my wall in my craft room. So I want to do something similar to that, but on this. I'm going to slightly change up the colour scheme. It will still be quite a lot of neutrals and metallics, but I am going to have a go at altering this into a nice big canvas. It's really quite big. The actual size is 20 inches or 50 centimetres square. So I'm just about to start gessoing it and see if gesso will cover it, and then see how I get on, and I will pop back and let you know what happens next. Thanks for watching.